Hi and welcome to the video. Now in this brief video I'll be looking at Ancestry's potential parent function and how it causes confusion to many Ancestry users. Now here we are at a screen of Elvis Presley. This is one of my classroom trees so I can move around with it. It's normally a private tree. I've opened it up so we can look at some of the different functions. And we can see here we have a bunch of potential parents here in green. And we'll see that in most of our trees if we've got the function switched on. And at the end of the video, I'll show you how to switch this off if it bothers you haven't seen it. And if there's a green arrow here, we can see there's a potential parent back further on the tree there. This number 1 here, as we can see from Ancestry, there's another generation of potential parents as well. So we cannot, if we accept this, we'll see somebody else pop up. Now the first thing I wanted to say is that although this is very interesting, we're never going to add a potential parent through this functionality directly into our tree. All genealogists who do research would never take a hint, a family tree hint or this kind of thing and add it directly to the tree. But for the sake of this class, if you like, we're going to look at how it all works together. So let me just pick somebody. Let's look at Minerva. And we can review the details here. And the details will pop out on this little window here on the right hand side, and it's broken up into 4 areas. We have, 3 areas really. We have the person we're looking at, some brief details, the information that Ancestry has looked at to bring this to our attention. So Ancestry uses very complex algorithms to suggest this potential parent, looking at dates, locations, family trees. Think about it as really of taking all the hints and the family trees that are on your hints and mushing them together and coming up with the best guess. So here are the records. These would be of interest to us, if you like. This is where we would go and look as part of our research. We wouldn't take this any further from that perspective. Photographs. I don't particularly like photographs. The provenance of photographs and length is very clear. It's provable. I normally take photographs with a grain of salt. And then there's also a family tree. So we can see it's taken the references and the family tree and mushed it together. And this is family tree called Presley, family tree called from Kelly 461. So we'll look, when we go and create this, we'll look to see if that family tree is being brought across. And we have how many hints? 7 hints. And now here at the bottom, I can yes, no, and maybe. Maybe basically does nothing. So if I click on maybe, I just go back to the square. We'll go back to Minerva again, review our details. If we select no, I'm not going to go ahead of here, but if I do say ignore, it will go away completely. This hint won't come back again, and we'll see something like add mother, add father. So let's just cancel this out. And I'll do something that obviously I'm telling you not to do just for the sake of argument, and this will kind of indicate why you don't really want to be doing this. So let's say yes, and we'll see Minerva come in. Minerva just been added to my tree, and the information, they found the hints. So let me just go directly to Minerva's profile here. Now the big issue with this now is that I've added somebody to my tree, but there's no indication, there's no facts, there's no sources, there's no indication to where this came from. So I guess I could tag it. I add a tag that says added through potential, but this looks, to all intents and purposes, that's something that was added manually. So that's the big issue, or one of the big issues of adding something like this. First of all, you don't know it's correct, and secondly, you don't remember where it came from. And in a year's time you go, why was Minerva added to my tree? And anybody else looking at your tree will feel the same way. And this is the next generation I was talking about. Now let's go to the hints and see what we have there. So we have a photograph, we have the tree here, so we can actually go and look at the tree that it came from. It's not always, just as a word of warning, it's not always the tree that, the feature tree in your hints is not always a tree that is on the potential parents. It could be 2 different trees. But again, with a family tree hint, we'd never use this anyway. So it's worth looking at the references. And these are all many of the different references we saw in the potential thing. So here's the information we have. We could go and then start looking at it, and we could then make our own choice as to add it manually, but we'd never add it directly through this because we could get distracted, we could forget, and then we have somebody on our tree with no references, no sources. So it's a great tool from Ancestry to point you out some sources and references that you might not be aware of, but don't use the functionality to add. That would be my strong recommendation. And by the way, we can switch this off. So let's just go back to the tree here to see all the hints on here. Here are all the potential parents. And let me just go to tree settings, make it quickly. I've got a tab here already. And we can manage some of the hints here. And this is potential relatives not yet in your tree. And I can just switch this off. I go into the next page, switch it off and save it. And we'll go back here and just refresh the screen. And it's gone. So if it bothered me too much, I would switch it off. Or if I'm researching, let's say, Rosie Presley, and I want to see if there's any potential parents there, I could go back to the settings, switch it on here, just the same way, save it, and we'll go back to the tree and we'll just refresh the screen. And there they all are again. So I hope you found this quick view of the potential parents function in Ancestry useful. I hope you'll use it in the way it helps you and don't do any damage to your tree by just accepting them. If you've enjoyed this tree, please, if you enjoyed this video, should I say, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps a small genealogy channel like mine, and give me a thumbs up. It always helps. Good luck with your research, and I'll speak to you all soon.